But of course, it was a tremendous and arduous task, and they know from fossil remains and so forth, from our particular round of evolution, that it took over millions of years just for the human being to eventually evolve to the stage where we are now. And in that process, there was a tremendous amount of specialization that took place, not only on the genetic level, but in the level of vibrational intensities too, that came from the different kingdoms of the animal kingdom, even the fairy kingdom. That's a whole other topic, but there were all kinds of contributing consciousnesses that came into play as this evolution came forward. And remember that what had happened was that at the beginning, evolved beings from all of the different planetary systems and star systems that had been in conflict and were in conflict with one another at the time, agreed, and was probably the only thing that they could agree on, to all contribute parts of their DNA to this creature that would eventually become human, to unite within one body, one form, the DNA of all of the cosmos that had to be reconciled with one another. And what happened was that this was not junk DNA. This is called by our biologists, when they look at our genetic structure, they find these genes, I think 40% of our genetic composition, they label as junk DNA. Well, the divine mind and the creator spirits don't need to make junk. That's nature doesn't make junk. But what we have is genetic material that has yet to be activated because we haven't reached the point of evolution where it can come into play and begin to serve the function that it's programmed to perform. So as we go along, and of course in the last 100 or so years, we've been evolving at quantum leaps, as we all know, with our technology and our ability to do things that we haven't been able to do for tens of thousands of years. Suddenly, within the span of a few years, there are these developments that are simply amazing. And yet, what are we doing? We are proliferating war and manufactured plagues all over the world. We are engaging in the most asinine debates about the very nature of God. Whose God is it? Who owns God? Whose God is the valid God? Whose God is the God that can be depicted or that can't be depicted? The wrathful God of the fundamentalist religions, the God that sends his creatures to hell, or a forgiving and compassionate God whose essence is pure love? And why can't we even begin to agree on any of this? Well, gradually, little by little, there does seem to be emerging a consciousness around the world that these conflicts are something that have to be. And it's certainly in recent times it's been pointed out, these conflicts can't go on or humankind itself will end and our mission will have been a failure. Well, we can't have that. But when you look around and you think, well, we're not behaving like angels. How can we have angelic beings at our core? How can we actually be angels at the very core of our being? Well, remember, the angels agreed to forget everything about what and who they were. And so that means that in the core of our being too, our struggle is to remember our divine identity and the amazing powers and abilities that go with that. But in order to do that, we have to go through so many permutations, and we have to experience so much. How can we resolve all of these planetary conflicts, these tribal warfares that go back millions of years, without going through warfare ourselves, without becoming warriors, without becoming savage killers? How can we know the nature of evil without having at some point willingly participated in it, even though in a lifetime before that we could have been a saint and could be a saint again? But we have to know evil in order to be able to work through it and to abolish it, to bring out the divine in every one of us. This is what we're here to do, and this is what we're going to do. So it is the angelic being within us. This is what is reincarnating at the core of our soul, the divine that is with us at all times, the divine that is the very essence of who we are and what we are struggling to regain and to events and to show to Creator again. And when this happens, and it will eventually, this is our ultimate destiny. And the matter of time is not of relevance. Again, it may take another round. Who knows? We may actually produce another global destruction. That won't be the end. The end will come when we have reconciled all differences and created a divine harmony within all of us, within one another, where we can resolve all questions with understanding and compassion. And when this happens, there's going to be such a shout of joy that will resound throughout the entire universe, because we are connected intimately with every life form in the created cosmic order. It's part of who we are, and all of them are, in a sense, watching and rooting for us to make this happen, because when it does, it will reverberate throughout the universe, and all forms, all planets, all star systems will celebrate and partake in it with us. So we have a tremendous mission, and we have to be grateful for it, and joyful and hopeful and confident that this is something that we really can achieve. So be brave. Remember who and what you are always, no matter how tough it gets. Know that this is what you are. So I really thank you for joining me with this, and I look forward to greeting you next time. Bye-bye.